Hey, what's up guys, DiplexHeated again, welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy at War, and welcome to Rugosa. So in yesterday's video, I announced that I was going to run with shorter introductions in the future, and this will be the first video that will have a very short introduction before we start the battle, and I will run through all the updates and everything else I have to say to you guys towards the end of the video. So if you're interested in the channel and me and what's going on, then you can definitely stick around. If you just came here for the battle, then, well, we'll get straight to it, so to speak. So, we're on Rugosa. We are going to be witnessing a battle between the clones from the 65th Legion, and they're going to be going up against a few defending droid platoons with some support in terms of droidekas, super battle droids, and some dwarf droids, some of these spiders here, some of these walkers that are very cool. So it's going to be an interesting little battle here. And Rugosa, there is a part of the Clone Wars series that I have just really not gotten into or seen a lot of at all, so to speak. But I know that this planet is featured, it's technically a moon, is featured in one of those episodes, and it doesn't feature a big battle. But the clones that I can remember seeing when I did watch that episode had red markings, so I thought I'd go with clones from the 65th. Now, it's not going to be super realistic and true to the story, but that's how it's going to be. So without further ado, let's start the battle. And the battle is underway. The clones are going to spread out and engage the droids that they are faced with. Interesting variety in the defense here. We've got a super battle droid that unfortunately just tipped over. And we have a few defending droids here who are going to try and hold the base entrance. It's not much of a base, but it's more of an outpost. We've got some dwarf droids there in the back who are going to be defending the high ground, and they will be providing covering fire for the droids ahead of them. We have a group of droids attacking here with a droidekas. We have another droideka down here and another dwarf droid. All violently engaging the clone force on this side, who has already started taking some serious casualties. So that's not a good start for the clones here on the left side. But the attack must continue. We also have a lot of reinforcing droids from this side coming up. They started back here, and they're going to be arriving to the battle here. We got one more droideka and another dwarf droid. Lots of droids as well. And a super battle droid is moving up through the center, and it's going to take a lot of fire there from the currently defending clones who have decided not to attack the droids. They're going to hold their grounds and defend their position. There we go. Finally dealt with a super battle droid. And the clones are going to be digging in here for a while. And they might try and move up on the droids, but I feel like the droids have definitely... Ooh, rocket just came flying. Droids have definitely taken on an aggressive role here. Supporting droids moving up as well. We got a dwarf droid and another droideka. We got a dwarf droid in the middle that's going to be engaging the clones as well that have moved up on the right side. It's taking a lot of rocket fire, but so far it's... avoided being hit, so to speak. I believe the clones have missed, but there we go. One dwarf droid down, and the clones are heavily engaged with the droids on the right side. The clones are heavily engaged with the droids. Did I say that the droids are heavily engaged with the droids? Didn't mean to say that. We got another droid that got down there as well, so that's interesting. We got a pretty big concentration of droids up on this sort of sky bridge, or whatever you want to call it. It's like a laser bridge, or I'm not sure what you call these, but holographic bridge, not sure, but I guess you can press a button and it retracts itself. It's like an energy bridge. It's based off of energy. It's not concrete mass. Okay, the clones are going to be engaged from a multitude of directions, but they're doing good. On the left side, dwarf droid has dealt a lot of damage to the clones on the left flank. Droids are still moving up. I feel a little bad for the clones on this side. They seem to be getting pushed back quite heavily, but they're still trying to hold their ground. Some of the AT troop transports back here, all-terrain troop transports rather, will probably be providing supporting fire as soon as the droids get in their range. So that will be nice for the remaining clones here on the side. I think that they can look forward to receiving some reinforcements from the right flank as well. We've got a group down here that is... Oh, there we go. Supporting fire coming in. But the droid firepower is really great. And we have a dwarf droid here in the coral forest, so to speak. Just obliterating the drones down there and also opening fire at the vehicle itself. Might have disabled some of the guns. We'll find out. There's not a lot of clones remaining on this side. We'll see if some of the clones on this side find them... find the droids here an attractive target to engage. I think they'll try and aid their friends here who are being heavily pushed back. The left flank is a little under-strengthened at the moment. Perhaps the droid firepower was much greater there. We have here on the right side, though, some great success in trying to get over and cross the bridge. Hopefully they'll try and make it into the base. They got a lot of droids to deal with before they can cross. We got a droid again that seems to have malfunctioned a bit here. That won't be causing any trouble for any of the clones trying to cross the bridge. We still have some droids down below here, though, that's going to be opening fire, and we have probably a platoon size of droids spread out throughout the compound here, and we also have 2 dwarf droids up here that are going to be a little annoying to deal with, especially if they do open fire at the clones trying to cross the bridge. We'll see how it goes for the right flank. I want to take another look at the left flank. The droids have spread out more, and this dwarf droid itself is actually moving around the flank, and I feel really bad for the remaining clones down here now. They're taking so much fire. They're really just trying to hold out. There's probably not a whole lot of clones alive as well. It's going to be a really epic last stand here for the clones of this of these 2 platoons that were deployed here. Amazing. Really love the effects, love the sounds. Clones on this side that haven't actually gone up towards the bridge are now engaging the remaining droids that attacked the left side here of the clones, or the left flank of the clones. They're going to be engaging each other high and low, so to speak. Some of the droids are moving up here on this hill. We've got clones who are going to be counterattacking, so that'll be some interesting combat here. We'll see how that evolves. I hear a droidica as well. Taking a lot of fire, though. We'll see if it goes down to the fire. I believe it's currently being missed. Potentially its shields soaking up the fire from the clones, but this dwarf droid is just absolutely butchering the poor clones there. Oh, the bridge is being crossed. These side rocks always cause a bit of a glitch in combat, like they provide some kind of unnatural cover that extends beyond their actual size. So they've always been a little awkward, but I'm sure we'll see some interesting combat between these 2 here. Look, now they're practically bunched up together. It's weird. And the one guy just said, "Don't bunch up." That's hilarious. Okay, we'll see how that turns out. They're in combat now. I see some supportive fire here from the dwarf droid up on this high ground, engaging some of the clones down there. Very cool. Oh. And the fight on this side is still fully underway. A lot of droids are moving up now, up here on the high ground. They're going to be flanking around. It's a little hard to see because of these coral plants. We are on a moon. A coral moon, so to speak. Wow, there's still clones alive that this guy's engaging. That is just crazy to hearing that constant fire and just imagining what it's like to be on the other end of those energy projectiles. That's quite insane. Okay, we got some combat evolving here in the middle now, as the droids and clones are finally engaging each other. They have managed to sneak up on each other quite closely because of the terrain and difference in altitude, so to speak. But I think the clones have got a pretty good stable base of fire here, so I think they'll be able to chase back the droids, and hopefully they'll follow in with the actual attack and destroy the dwarf droid down here. There's still fire coming out of the clones here. They're still alive and kicking. They're even supporting the droids they're even supporting the clones by attacking the droids up here. Oh, look at this. This has been cleared out. Unfortunately, these droids here have not gone anywhere, so to speak. And I think I'd like to get them involved in combat. So I'm going to send them out because otherwise they're going to stay there glitched forever. So the clones and droids will engage each other at least, and we'll have some interesting combat. I think both sides definitely took some fire. Some of the droids are going to try and retreat across the bridge, but they're going to take fire from the clones who are down there as well. So that is cool. And the inside has been secured. I don't think I can see any other big groups of units glitched into the rocks. Look at these all-terrain transports back here as well. Now providing support for the clones, and they're engaging the droids up here. That is really cool. That dwarf droid needs to be dealt with though. Look at the insane amount of casualties that it's dealt to the clones. That's absolutely insane. We got more droids back here. Not a huge grouping though. I think it's time to stop having these clones glitching back here. I think we'll give them an order to move across. Otherwise they're gonna be some pretty disabled units here for the rest of the game, and we don't want that. I'd rather have them at least battle the dwarf droids. That'll engage them as they move up, so that's better than nothing. Just move out and get yourself into the fight. Some of them are engaging some droids down here. For some reason, this dwarf droid isn't even supporting. I don't know why. It should have the potential to. I'm gonna shoot at it just for a second. There we go. Of course it should be in the fight, right? It's been sitting there. It's has all the potential to engage some of the clones on there, so I thought I'd make it aware of our attack. So that some of the droids have been pushed back this direction as well. Let's look at the minimap and let's see what the situation looks like. Clones are highlighted in blue, and the droids, the remaining droids rather said, are highlighted in red. I'm going to do something for the sake of the battle. I'm going to bring this dwarf droid into the fight itself. Can this guy walk down? This guy is pretty much stuck up here. He's not going to be able to do much but perhaps engage some of the clones that he can find. Can he shoot them? That is the question. A lot of rock formations that prevent it from doing so, but we're going to bring down one of the dwarf droids here. And as I said, I've had such a large variety of outcomes, like different outcomes when testing the scenario, and it's really interesting to see the clones pull it together and do so well despite all the dwarf droids. They've taken down a lot of the droidicas and super battle droids using bazookas. I'm going to get this guy. And yes, I am aware of the fact that I said that I wasn't going to control anyone, and the battle is practically over. I just think I'd like to have it come to a more realistic ending instead of letting one of those dwarf droids sit there and continue punishing our poor clones who are just trying to survive. And quite a lot of clones got up close to it, but the dwarf droid did not seem to be too bothered by that. So we're going to disable the minimap. We're going to run up with this bazooka. Then we're going to finish the fight for this one. Oh. Hopefully we didn't hit ourselves. We missed again. There we go. Sweet. Wow, look at the casualties. We'll have the clones in yellow and the droids in red, and already you can tell that the clones have taken a lot more casualties than the droids. It varies in different areas, but it's been a rather violent firefight. Oh, one of the dwarf droids is still moving up here. And we're going to try and swarm it. I'm going to take control of the dwarf droid here and just... Look at this thing. It's so cool. Look at it moving up. Be quite a scary sight for some clones here. Their weaponry doesn't really bite, so to speak. Can it shoot? Can it move and shoot? Can I engage a... No. It doesn't seem to understand how to... This one isn't willing. He's on open fire. He's just not willing. It's a deserter droid. It's not a dwarf droid. It's a deserter droid. Seriously, that's really rare. I've never seen anything like that before. I guess it's glitched a little bit. Hope you guys enjoyed the firefight, though. I think we're gonna call this one a quit, and a finished fight rather. The clones have. The battle is practically over. I'd say the clones won, but I'm still a little shocked that they have so many alive. They really did well this time around. As always, when you click that start button, you're going to get a different result all the time. And despite some of the glitches with the rocks, I think we had a pretty cool battle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Rugosa fight, and I'll see you guys soon again. Bye.